Energies. We Energies. Boucher Automotive Group. Tri-City National Bank. Your local Carrier dealers. Lakeland University. Z-Bart. Cannon and Dunphy. Loyal Family Renovations. Tsunami Express Car Wash. Steamfitters Local 601. Big Fish Contracting. SVA. A professional services company. WeatherTight. And Network Health. On the home of the Brewers. 620 WTMJ.
Hey fans, the Brew Crew are hot and so are the summer temps. Now is the perfect time to step up your comfort game with a new Carrier home comfort system to keep your home cool all summer long. Ask your local dealer about local Wisconsin focus on energy rebates and financing for qualified buyers. Turn to the experts at Carrier. We've got you covered so you can get back to cheering on the Crew. Carrier, proud partner of the Milwaukee Brewers. Find your local dealer at carriermilwaukee.com.
Is back pain slowing you down? The OAW Spine Center offers specialized care with advanced treatments for herniated discs, spinal fusion, and more. Their board-certified orthopedic care specialists use the least invasive methods, starting with non-surgical options. If surgery is needed, they provide minimally invasive procedures. The OAW Spine specialists focus on getting you back to an active lifestyle faster. The OAW Spine Center. There is a difference. Visit OAWSpineCenter.com.
I grew up listening to the Crew just like you. I'm a baseball guy, and I've been a huge fan my whole life.
Al Feckler, attorney at Cannon and Dunphy.
I also drive around the city just like you, and can I just ask, what's up with all the lawyer billboards everywhere? It's over the top. Well, we're not billboard lawyers at Cannon and Dunphy. We're professionals that rely on our results and reputation, not billboards and catchy rhyming phrases. So when you get injured through no fault of your own, call the professionals at Cannon and Dunphy.
We Energies want you to keep this important safety message in mind. Before you start digging, planting, or landscaping on your property, call 811 to have underground utilities marked. Calling 811 at least 3 business days before you plan to dig will help you know what's below and can prevent a hazardous situation. Our representatives will mark the underground utilities on your property for free. So remember, stay safe and call before you dig.
We Energies. People you can trust. Energy you can depend on.
Covering the Crew all season long on WTMJ. It's Brewers Extra Innings. Now live from American Family Field. Here's your host, Dominic Cotroneo.
All right, they were due for a clunker or two. That's what they've had so far here in the series against the Marlins. 7-4 the final. Miami takes it and the series. First loss of a series at home in a while. Got to go back to the Braves series. It's been a minute for the Crew. Try to dust themselves off with Brandon Woodruff on the mound tomorrow, trying to salvage the finale and take care of business before the Cubs come to town. We'll break all of this down coming up with Craig Kashan. I'm Dom Cotroneo. You know, you look at it, the Brewers, they made 2 outs on the bases. They made a key error. They did not stop rallies when they could for the Miami offense, and quite frankly, they got a taste of their own medicine today. The Marlins played like the Brewers, and if you haven't been paying attention, the Marlins are now the hottest team in baseball. That's how this goes. It's cyclical. And right now, the Marlins have won 4 consecutive series. They're now only 3 games under 500. They've got young players that don't know any better. They're playing ball, and they're having fun doing it. So we'll break it all down here in just a little bit with Craig. But first, in case you missed it, let's get you caught up to speed with the highlight recap.
Ready for this?
Out of here!
This?
Brought it back! Ho, ho, ho!
And this?
It is gone!
Time for tonight's highlights.
Jose Quintana going up against old friend Jansen Junk for the Marlins. Lefty for the Crew, righty for the Fish. We pick things up in the bottom of the second. Scoreless game and a leadoff double for Andrew Vaughn. He quietly had another great game for him. Collins pulled a single into left center field, but Vaughn had to hold up. So the Brewers are in a great shape, right? Men on the corners, nobody out. Here's your opportunity. Well, Terang would strike out. Then Collins would be thrown out trying to steal. That makes it 2 outs, and all of a sudden a 1-2 count on Caleb Durbin. He continued to work it to 2-2, and it's a backbreaker.
Ground ball up the middle of the base hit. Vaughn scores. Brewers lead 1-0. Good piece of hitting from Caleb Durbin. 2 strikes, took some out of the swing, went right back where it came from. A 2-out RBI single, a backbreaker potentially against Jansen Junk.
Jeff Levering on the call. So then, no shutdown inning, though. In the top of the third, the Marlins would get their leadoff man aboard with Dane Myers, steal second base, and score on an RBI double in left center field that Isaac Collins had a hard time tracking in the setting sun in the glass panels above the right field line. So that scored a run, and then the Brewers would throw out Javier Sanoa over at third, but that ties things up 1 apiece. We fast forward now to the fourth inning with the Brewers now suddenly trailing after a solo homer from Agustin Ramirez. 2-1, Marlins with the lead. Brewers get a leadoff double from Jackson Chourio, but then once again, situational hitting. Yelly strikes out. Vaughn grounds out to the left side. So still, Chourio on second from a leadoff double, but hey, a little bit of a gift from the other side now.
Here's the pitch. And a little flare into left center field. Dane Myers racing in. Stowers goes into a slide. It's off of his glove and trickles over to center field. Chourio is in. And standing at second with an RBI double is Isaac Collins.
I think the Marlins would tell you if they had another chance at that ball needs to be caught. It was a poor break from Dane Myers. Collins doesn't care. That's a double in the box score, baby. Next batter, really make it hurt. It's your bobblehead day. You got to have an RBI.
2-1. And here's a liner into right center field. That's going to get down, roll all the way to the wall. Collins jogging around third. He will score. It's an RBI double for Turang, and the Brewers lead it 3-2.
Lane Grindle on the call. The Brewers would leave Turang stranded, but they take the lead right back 3-2, and you're getting the theme of this. No shutdown inning in the next frame, and this was big because 9-hitter leading off and getting ready to go the third time through. 9-hitter reaches on an E4 from Turang and just clanked it off the heel of his mitt. Everybody is human, but of course it led to runs. Xavier Edwards managed a single, 2-men aboard, but Quintana would hunker down. He gets a pop out and a flyout, a chance to escape. Heriberto Hernandez, the batter, he fell behind. A ton of 3-ball counts today for Quintana, and then the biggest mistake he made today didn't come back.
3-1 pitch. Liner to left center. Collins back, still back. It is over the fence and gone. Heriberto Hernandez hits a 3-run home run, and the Brewers see their 3-2 lead go to a 5-3 deficit.
In the blink of an eye, they would not come back the rest of the game, and for good measure, Dane Myers would add a 2-run homer off Grant Anderson. That made it 7-3, and just to help himself out, Andrew Vaughn added a solo homer in the ninth, but that was it for the crew. 7-4, the final tonight. They had opportunities, they made mistakes, and the Marlins, they capitalized, and now the Central Division is level. Both teams, the Brewers and the Cubs, coming into tomorrow's action at 61-43. We'll break it all down with Craig Kashan coming up next. 855-616-1620 is the phone number. 855-616-1620 on your home of the Brewers, 620 WTMJ.
Coming up, more Brewers Extra Innings on WTMJ.
At Tony Wendorf & Associates First Weber Real Estate Services, we believe in the human side of real estate. For us, it's faith, family, and friends in that order. We live that every single day. We move fast, negotiate with confidence, and communicate clearly so our clients win. We operate from a place of gratitude, having donated nearly $200,000 back to our community since 2020. You deserve a team that delivers a luxury experience no matter the price point. Tony Wendorf & Associates. Trusted knowledge, superior service. Contact us today at wendorfteam.firstweber.com.
Get back to the ballpark for Brewers action against the Marlins July 25th through the 27th. Second half of the season kicks off with Pokemon Go Day on the 25th and a Bryce Turang Bobble on the 26th. Get seats today at Brewers.com.
James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. When Tri-City National Bank decided to optimize their print output strategy, they needed a resource with the expertise to recommend a solution. CIO Robert Prang.
And James helped us with that analysis of what our print consumption was and what we were doing.
The outcome of the James Imaging Systems Managed Print Services recommendation?
We ended up reducing down to about 97 total printers and copiers from 197.
The impact on your print output?
We eliminated over 500,000 pages a month of output that we figured out we really didn't need.
Month after month, that adds up to savings and value.
Oh, tons of value. Those numbers add up even when it's only a penny or so per page.
Managed Print Services from James Imaging Systems. AI-driven workflow automation, security enhancements, and digital transformation. To learn more, visit jamesimaging.com.
Be our eyes on the road. See something out there that I should know about?
Hey, Debbie, southbound 794. There was just an accident. Right now, it looks like at least one lane is closed.
Call me, Debbie Lazaga, on the WTMJ traffic tip line, 414-238-9329.
Highway 45 southbound. A tire came off of a car.
The drive affects you. Why not be part of it?
Northbound 41 at Burleigh. 3 vehicle accidents just happened in front of me.
Give me a call, 414-238-9329.
This is Brewers Extra Innings on WTMJ.
One of them days. Brewers fall in this one, 7-4 to the Marlins. They've dropped the series. Mama said, it'd be days like this. So, shake it off. That's why there's a loss column. You're going to lose them. You're going to win some. But the Brewers are kind of getting a little comfortable. It's no big deal. Shake it off and move on. Brewers Extra Innings is brought to you by Fifth Third Bank. If you're looking for a banking partner that truly understands your business needs, look no further than Fifth Third Bank. They've got a local team right here in Milwaukee and know how to hit it out of the park every time. For 15 years, they've been serving the community with industry-specific expertise and local decision-making. It's all going to help your business thrive. Experience a unique commercial banking value that only Fifth Third can deliver. Fifth Third Bank, National Association, member FDIC. Craig Kashawn is here. I'm Dom Cotroneo. Cue the overreactions. This text from the 608 from James. Are they done? Are they bad now? Oh, my goodness. Overreact. They lost the series to the Marlins. Hey, tip your cap, man. This looked like Brewers baseball from the other side. The Brewers didn't play to their snuff. The Marlins did. Hey, we've seen this formula work. Granted, I don't think giving up as many home runs as it did was in the formula today. But, hey, get on base. Take advantage of their mistakes. Work tough counts. That's the Brewers' way, and the Marlins stuck it to them.
Yeah, they really did. I mean, it's kind of been that way. We got a glimpse of it, Dom, in that series early in July as well. The Brewers, I thought then, were pretty fortunate to take 2 out of 3 from the Marlins. But really, since then, the Brewers became ultimately red hot throughout the rest of the month of July up until now. And the Marlins, I think, were a gradual build that way. I think this Brewer team, pretty much top to bottom, but especially the pitching staff is more talented for sure with that pitching staff. But this Marlins team, they're not going away. They're pesky. I think the other thing that I've been thinking about the last couple of days too, I don't know about you, is just what your approach is against certain teams. Do you take them seriously or not? And I think it's natural to do that in any sport. I'm not saying the Brewers aren't taking the Marlins seriously, but Pat Murphy kind of brought it up in his postgame tonight that, he said this team isn't filled with the name recognition stars, so to say, but, you can't let that affect how you're going out and conducting your own business. And I just haven't seen we're all in to, the attack, I guess, if you will, so far in the first 2 games.
I mean, everybody but 2 players in the starting lineup, so 7 of the 9 starters had a hit in today's game for the Brewers. They did not cash in on all of their opportunities. The only guys who didn't get hits were actually Christian Yelich, snapping a 30-game on-base streak for him, and Joey Ortiz, who went 0 for 3 with no strikeouts. But when I look at today's game, the 3 mistakes that jump out at me in the largest fashion. Number 1, the error by Bryce Terang that led off the 5th inning. I know there's caution of do you send Quintana back out for a 3rd time through? He's really been grinding his first 4 innings. If you don't trust Quintana, of all guys, to go back out for a 3rd time through, then that's just that's a non-starter for me. He needs to start that frame, and quite frankly, he was 1 pitch away from ending that inning, but he had to get 4 outs in the frame, and whenever you see a full moon turn blue and it's Bryce Terang committing an error, the other team salivating at the mouth, we got to make this count, And ultimately, a 3-run homer with 2 outs is how they made it count in the 5th inning.
Yeah, that was not a good recipe, I don't think, for how Quintana likes to pitch. First of all, he's going up against a team that has a lot of plate discipline. So trying to hit, anywhere outside, high, low, in, out was a struggle tonight for Quintana. And then, unfortunately, he had to get 4 outs. And, sometimes you think your pitcher is going to be able to take it upon himself, and he was oh so close. But, man, that 3-run bomb was just almost it it just did this club in at that point. So that too, Dom, and I think the two caught stealings in the same inning in the second inning took a lot of wind out of the sail. I mean, my gosh, it was first and second, nobody out, and to only score one run there when you've got a grand total of 3 hits to top it off. They were fortunate to get a run in that inning too, as it turned out.
Yeah, it came down to the last strike away, and we can save this for later. I was going to save it for later, but we can talk about it now. The Brewers and their stolen bases, they've had a small regression here. So they went 5 for 5 against Miami back when they were in Miami a couple of weeks ago. And the Marlins are one of the worst teams at throwing out runners in the league. They don't hold runners well from the mound. Their catchers have good pop times, but they haven't been accurate with their throws. But since that Marlins series, including tonight, the Brewers are 14 for 23. That's just 61%. And you may be thinking, well, that's still more than half, but that's not good enough if you're stealing bases. That's outs. That's the difference of one-run games. This was not a one-run game for a team whose identity is stealing bags and taking extra bases. They're still running the bases well, but they're not stealing the bases well right now.
Right, and this is who this team is. This is why we don't see a lot of home runs. I mean, think about this stretch, and you probably have the answer that I don't, Tom, but we haven't seen many home runs at all, not just for a few games, but maybe a few weeks that have been really meaningful and timely. But you've got to get your the success with you.
Are we hot? What just happened?
On deck, more Brewers Extra Innings.
I'm Jim Token, representing the Auto Dealers Association of Metro Milwaukee. There are so many reasons to service your car or truck and buy your next vehicle at one of the 115 Adam member dealers. Adam dealers employ more than 6,500 people in southeastern Wisconsin, which supports thousands of local families. Adam also contributes to many local charities. For example, Adam recently completed their Change Your Oil, Change Lives promotion, benefiting Feeding America of Eastern Wisconsin. Over the past 15 years, they've raised over $953,000, which provided more than 3.8 million meals to people in southeastern Wisconsin, the majority being children and seniors. These are just a few reasons to service your car or truck and buy your next vehicle from an Adam member dealer instead of a national online company with no ties to our community. To find an Adam member dealer, visit adam.com. That's ADAMM.com.
Healthy joints, healthy lifestyle. Vince Vitrano for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Arthritis, injuries, wear and tear, common joint issues that keep you from doing what you love. At OAW, a visit to the doctor doesn't always mean surgery. Everyone is different. Surgeons, nurses, physical therapists work together to come up with a plan for you. Maybe it's PT, medication, injection, and if you do need surgery like I did, you know you're in the best of hands. Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference. Book an appointment online at orthowisconsin.com.
Is your business ready to take the next step? At Fifth Third Commercial Bank Wisconsin, our team of local experienced advisors is here to propel you forward. We understand your needs and offer in-depth expertise, cutting-edge technology, and tailored solutions to streamline your cash collections, automate payments, and safeguard your assets with top-notch fraud mitigation tools. Contact Fifth Third in downtown Milwaukee today. Let's eliminate the non-value ad work so you can focus on what truly matters, growing your business. Fifth Third Bank National Association. Custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC.
This is Brewers Extra Innings.
All right, we had a little blip, EMP or something, I don't know. Technology, it happens. It's no big deal. Thanks to our producer, Everyone Towson, getting us back on the air with Craig Kashan. I'm Dom Cotroneo. So, Craig, you were mid-thought about the stolen bases and about how the Brewers were, such an aggressive team, but then the home runs as of late, they haven't had many meaningful home runs. Well, let's wrap up that thought before we move on. So Vaughn hits a homer today. They also hit a home run yesterday with Chourio, despite it being a loss. They did not hit a home run in Seattle. They did not hit a home run in the finale in Los Angeles, but they had a streak there where they had a home run into and out of the break in all but 2 of the games. In fact, they had a home run in that 9-game winning streak in 7 of those 9 games. So it feels so disparate where it's like, oh gosh, they're not hitting homers. When the other team hits 3, you're not going to win many games. So I think it feels a little bigger than it actually is. That being said, you got to look at the meat of this order. I look at William. He got a base hit today, but that's really the only thing that happened for him in these first 2 games of this homestand. Chourio continues to swing the bat well. Yelly has cooled off, considerably since the second half began. The Brewers going to get power before Rhys Hoskins come back, before a trade happens, if one happens. I'm looking at William. I'm looking at Yelly, and I'm even looking, sort of trying to say, hey, it doesn't have to be homers. You need to see some sort of slug, because Chourio's still hitting doubles. Vaughn hits a homer and a double today. You need to get some more consistent slug. We've been saying this all season long.
Yeah, you're right. And I think the real point I was trying to make about the home run, why I brought it up, is because of the lack of base stealing success that we had talked about, and just trying to make the point that really is more important for this club than them hitting home runs, to be quite honest, because they're just near the bottom of home run hitting so far here this season, and that's been okay. Look where they're sitting, but they can't get caught on the bases as often as we've seen lately here, that's for sure. But, when they do hit the home runs, I mean, you certainly take them. You want them to factor into your wins especially. And you're right, Dom. We've been wondering where that's been along just with that slug all season long. And hopefully they're going to be able to hit that type of a stretch here before too long so they can carry that into this postseason run.
I still see a lot of potential for slug in this lineup, and what I see for the Brewers when Rhys comes back, some folks have asked, well, what's going on with his bench? There is no bona fide, like, oh, you're going to bring this guy in and he's going to hit one out over the fence. You're right. They don't have that guy right now, and Rhys could be that guy when you add in a piece, whatever they decide to do offensively, if they're able to add somebody in that makes your bench a little bit better as well. So all these things can be connected for the Brewers offense in these final 58 games to make sure they are the best version of themselves heading into October. Shifting gears to the pitching side, we've touched on it briefly with Quintana. He wasn't himself today, and Quintana just a little more effort than I think he was expecting. We talked about the plate discipline from the Marlins, but yet at the same time, a lot of 3-ball counts. The changeup was really not there at all. They were not biting on the curveball. Sinker command wasn't great either. A lot of middle misses. What did you overall take away from Quintana's performance today? Is this a blip, or is this a trend of something you're concerned about?
I quite frankly think it's more of a trend / concern. We brought up not long ago about if Jose Quintana, now he has not, I don't think, totally been himself since he went on the injury list compared to how he was when he first came to Milwaukee and made his debut. So I think there's that. I don't know why that is. He seems healthy enough, but nothing bothers me more than high pitch counts, 3-ball counts, and then getting yourself in trouble. And there's guys on base. Your infield, which is so reliable, commits an error, and that one time they commit an error, boom, that results in 3 unearned runs. So I'm seeing a little of that with Quintana right now, and I don't know how he's going to clean it up. I don't know if they're going to give him the chance to clean it up. Nestor Cortez is, in the wings waiting. There's got to be, a pretty big decision brewing here to figure out how they're not going to go to a 6-man rotation with going to a 6-man rotation or making a significant move.
When I think of Quintana, the way that I see success out of him is getting guys to swing at the pitches they're not supposed to swing at. Not necessarily chase pitches, like chasing pitches outside of the strike zone, but chase pitches that are maybe on the shadows of the corners, going for pitches. I look at Xavier Edwards, the first batter of the game. He works a count to 3-1, ultimately to 3-2, and he swings at a sinker below the zone that you're not supposed to swing at. hits a ground ball. I think that was the only ball they swung at that they weren't supposed to swing at the rest of the day. It was really impressive to see the Marlins stay away from those traps that Quintana was trying to set to try to get them to, I can hit that, and then it turns into a ground out or it turns into a weak fly out. He got a few of those, but it became they're laying off these pitches. I'm finding myself in fastball counts, and with respect to Jose Quintana, his fastball is not good enough to get by hitters, no matter what the record says on the other side. And on today's game, you saw them attack over and over again. 3-ball counts, 3-1 counts, from 0-2 to 3-2. And you blink, back-to-back innings, he had more than 25 pitches in the 4th and the 5th innings. Fatigue had to set in, too.
Yeah, and look at the conditions. It is sultry right now in this city for these games in this stadium and stuff. So that's got to take a little bit of a toll for sure. I just think maybe going back to your last question too, maybe my even better way of answering this, and I'm curious to see how you feel about it just from a confidence standpoint. I think when Quintana has gone out since he became a Brewer up until maybe his last 3 or 4 starts, I was ultra confident and very secure in knowing that this veteran guy was on the mound, and it could be for a series sweep, it could be for a rubber match, get the series win, it could be to stop a mini losing streak. I just don't have that same confidence right now. How about you?
I think today it was like, that didn't seem like him. I want to see it one more start. If it looks like this, his next start would be lined up against the Washington Nationals as of now. But the way I see it from Jose Quintana, the big red flag from today's game, like we talk about not being able to get the nibbles, not being able to get the ground outs. He had 14 balls in play on the sinker alone. That's not including foul balls, mind you, too. But the RBI double from Sanoja that Collins lost in the setting sun. The home run by Ramirez to right was on the sinker. But then you've got a Stowers single into right field. That's tough because it was left on left in the 4th inning. A Dane Myers single in that count. He was he was behind 3-1, gives up a base hit on a fastball. Other than that, it's 4 hits out of the 14 balls put in play, which is a little worse than 300. In the long run, you take those odds, but when it's damage against Quintana, when it's power, when it's slug, when we're seeing hard exit velos, we know Quintana's not a guy that's going to get a lot of swings and misses, but when you only get 3 in 99 pitches, that's a little alarming in my eyes. So if this happens again against the Nationals next weekend, that's where you start to sit here and go, well, you're past the trade deadline. It's like, well, what could really happen? What could be, the future for Quintana given the surplus the Brewers have in the pitching staff?
So what's the prediction here? Is he going to make that start? Is Cortez going to make that start? I totally get what you're saying, but I just don't know where this is going. I think had he pitched really well today, it's his spot, but I don't know. I think this just continues a trend a little bit.
I think too, Craig, we can get ahead of ourselves here on July 26th again. Overreaction Saturday after the Brewers lose a series to the Marlins, but is it an overreaction that we can talk about this? That if the playoffs started tomorrow, I don't think Quintana's starting one of the games, and that's not so much of like Quintana's not up to snuff. It's because I think there are 3 better options ahead of him in Brandon Woodruff, Freddie Peralta, and Jacob Mizorowski, and maybe even I put Quinn Priester ahead of him right now, given how well he's performed. It's not so much a knock on Jose; it's just that there have been better performers for the Brewers at this point in the season.
Yeah, no, there's no question about that. You're 100% right, and it's easy to look and predict that, I think, but you still got to get there. You still have 2 months left, and if he, struggles the rest of the way, even in and out, can they afford that right now? I'm not sure.
Yeah, but you still need all 5, maybe even all 6 starters as you move along. You have depth until you don't. It can be gone in the blink of an eye. Take a quick breather. I want to have you stick around real quick because we're going to talk a little bit about what this Cubs series could be. We'll talk about that tomorrow too, but I just want to remind everybody this is just the beginning of a really important sprint. This isn't the 100-meter. This is the 800-meter because there's 8 games remaining with the Cubs. Take a breather after this on 620 WTMJ.
Coming up, more Brewers Extra Innings on WTMJ.
You'll find that the licensed and certified electricians from Quality are top-notch. We've been around for over 60 years, so expect nothing but the best. And here's the kicker. With over 60 vehicles out there on the roads, you're not going to have to wait very long at all for the electrical service you need now. This is Anthony Zanevsky. For all your residential electrical needs, call Quality.
Call Quality for the signature service you deserve.
Call Quality. Heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric. Over 60 years in business, with over 60 vehicles out in the field so we can respond ultra quickly to your emergency AC needs. When you call Quality for emergency AC service, you can count on a swift response to get the job done right away. So if the heat's got you to the point where it's just too hot to handle, call Quality and we'll get you the signature service you deserve.
Call Quality for the signature service you deserve.
Call Quality. Heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric.
At Hazelden Betty Ford, treating mental health isn't just about breaking old patterns, it's about braving new ones. As the leader in alcohol and drug treatment for 75 years, we know caring for addiction, anxiety, depression, and trauma goes hand in hand. We're here for you with new tools when life breaks down. Discover your path to better mental health at hazeldenbettyford.org/Wisconsin. Sponsored by Hazelden Betty Ford Foundation.
Wisconsin's Morning News is here for you every weekday morning starting at 6 a.m. Vince Petrano.
Man accused in the Christmas Day double murder in Milwaukee is now in custody.
Eric Billstad.
More reaction now to the breaking news of Governor Evers announcing he will not run for re-election.
And traffic with Debbie Loziga.
In Mukwonago, Highway 83 is closed in both directions for a crash.
The news you need to know. Wisconsin's Morning News on WTMJ. Welcome back to Brewers Extra Innings.
What a day for an air conditioner. Whew, what a few days. Brewers fall today 7-4 with the roof open, thank goodness. But if your air conditioner isn't keeping up, now's the time to upgrade. Cider Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical is offering $1,500 off new central air systems now through the end of July, so hurry up. You got till the end of next week. Stay cool, save money, and trust the team that's been keeping Wisconsin comfortable for over a century. Visit Cider, SEIDER.com to schedule your free estimate. Craig Kashan is with us. I'm Dom Cotroneo. Couple of things at hand here right now here for the crew. Obviously, you want to salvage the finale tomorrow, not get swept, and see what you got. Guarantee that you're going to be no worse than tied against the Cubs coming up on Monday. Don't look ahead, obviously, too. First and foremost, Brandon Woodruff takes the hill tomorrow. We've seen him be really good. He had a shortened outing his last time out because of the fact that, it had been a long layoff and he didn't want to go from 0 to 60 in the blink of an eye, but he only needed 60-some-odd pitches to get through 6 innings against the Marlins. I think if he's watching in that dugout tonight, Craig, he knows, all right, well, I'm going to have to be aggressive because this team is being really, really patient with anything that even looks like it could be outside of the zone.
My silver lining for this one, Dom, is the fact that Woody made his season debut against these guys. And I mean, he dominated. We know that. What was it, a couple of solo home runs? But outside of that, it wasn't anything at all. And I think it was a surprise. So let's just say this. The Marlins have seen him. They have learned something. I don't know if that's advantaged them since the way Woody's kind of been shoving it against everybody at this point. I mean, he's 2-0 with a 165 in 3 of his starts. I don't know if I've seen a guy recently with this staff, especially, that's been more efficient than his last start against Seattle. I mean, my gosh, 6 innings and 62 pitches. I don't know if he can go 7. I don't know if he's there yet. I don't know if it's going to take a few more starts for him to get there, but his efficiency is so off the charts here right now. I'm as excited every time Woody's gone out on the mound here as I am when the Miz gets his turn as well. So this is going to be an interesting one, especially against a team that has seen him and he's already faced.
Yeah, and the command is going to be the most important thing because that command last Sunday was what was a couple Sundays ago, was so jaw-dropping about that long of a layoff, nearly 2 years off, and he was just pinpoint with Eric Haas. And I imagine Eric Haas will get the start behind the plate tomorrow. So as we get ready for this sprint for the Crew, right? Today was game number 104. So 58 games remaining, and 8 of them are against the Cubs. And you're in this hunt for not only the division title, but maybe a 1 or a 2 seed in the National League. What's the number one priority for you, Craig Kashan, that needs to get cleaned up, that can be cleaned up for the Brewers to make sure that they can stay in competition for this division?
Well, boy, I mean, a couple of things for me, I think, is, first and foremost is getting runs in, Dom, and doing it, not having to wait until there's 2 out, taking advantage of situations where you've got, guys on, like we saw tonight, first and second, nobody out, just knowing that you've got to make sure that these base runners are advanced in position to score, and then get at least 2 out of there. So kind of taking advantage of innings where they set themselves up, with no outs and even less than obviously 2 outs. You got to get that run in. So to me, I know that's been a season-long factor there. That's to me big. And I think the other thing is, let's see where this relief corps is right now as well, these late inning guys. This is going to be a big series against big hitters, big situations. I can't imagine most of these games not all being close, 27 outs. So I'm looking at Brewer relief pitching right now and scoring runs when you have those golden opportunities. You got to get more than one.
Yeah, I agree. I think the Brewers are better than people realize with runners in scoring position, especially in relation to the league. That comes into their knack for contact and their ability to, just keep innings alive. Just to give you the numbers, the Brewers have the 4th best batting average with runners in scoring position in the league. Now, the OPS is a little lower because they don't have a lot of slug. They're 10th in all of baseball in OPS with runners in scoring position. But the catch is that the Brewers, when it comes to plate appearances with runners in scoring position, they're 8th. So they're giving themselves opportunities. And remember, early in the year, they were struggling of cashing those in. Now they've been doing so. So that should rise. They have struggled with runners in scoring position the last couple of nights. Tonight, they still went 4 for 8, but it didn't feel like they went 4 for 8. Yes, they got a couple doubles. One of those should have been caught in left center field. Yesterday, the Brewers in that 5-1 loss, they went 0 for 5. So for the series, they were combined 4 for 13, which is about 250, 238 or so. That can be improved upon easily. In my opinion, Craig, though, it's got to be finding a way to get this bench a little deeper. And you can get a little healthier, obviously, with that, with Rhys Hoskins coming back at some point in mid-August. But Andrew Vaughn is here to stay, man. He continues to thrive and be somebody that the Brewers are going to lean on for offense. But if they make a deal, if they can make something happen on the trade market and go get another bat, it doesn't have to be an everyday bat. I know we're all focused on Geno Suarez, but the more I think about it, man, Ryan O'Hearn really could be a fit, a buy low option. Maybe somebody else that we're not expecting is available. But I look at the offense, and one way to help out that runners in scoring position notice to just have a little more thump on the bench available to them when they really need it.
Yeah, and I've been crying for that all year. You know that, and I just really think that this is such a key missing ingredient for this team. I mean, look. I love all these guys on this team, you know that, but I want to see somebody besides Anthony Siegler coming up in a situation like he did today. I just think they can improve that position and then some. We shall see what they do. I'd be shocked if they don't do something, rather significant when they have the opportunity here. I think they have an opportunity to go do something, and I love their creativity. Let's go out and do something, man.
I agree, and it's also not fair to Anthony Siegler to keep throwing him in one at bat and go see that. So I think Anthony, and that's something the Brewers have talked about. He was having such a great year in AAA. Is it worth it to bring him up and reward him for his efforts, but knowing he's not going to play every day all of a sudden when he comes up to the show? So these are how hard it is to develop at the big league level. All right, Craig, we'll talk to you tomorrow. We'll get some Hall of Fame reaction tomorrow to CC, Ichiro, Cobra. The list goes on. It's going to be a fun day in Cooperstown tomorrow.
Looking forward to it, Dom.
All right, Craig Kashan on WTMJ. We'll hear from Murph in a little bit, and we'll get to some text in the next segment. 855-616-1620. Again, 855-616-1620 on your home of the Brewers, 620 WTMJ.
On deck, more Brewers Extra Innings.
Ooh, ma. What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud phone system. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs.
You sound very...
Calm? I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Nice. Find your business comm at ooma.com/radio.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
At Big Fish Contracting, we want every home project to be a good story worth sharing. That's why we as a team aim to exceed your expectations. We can improve any aspect of your home. Everything from a complex remodel to the essential roof, gutters, siding, and windows. Integrity, humility, and kindness are why we've grown in southeastern Wisconsin for the last 2 decades. Visit bigfishcontracting.com to learn how Big Fish is renovating homes and redeeming an industry.
Get back to the ballpark for Brewers action against the Marlins July 25th through the 27th. Second half of the season kicks off with Pokemon Go Day on the 25th and a Bryce Terang bobble on the 26th. Get seats today at Brewers.com.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station. This is Brewers Extra Innings on WTMJ.
Brewers fall today 7-4. All right, shake it off. They were going to lose 2 more games at some point the rest of the year. They're going to hit another iceberg. It's going to be okay. That's why we play 162 of them. Tonight's player of the game, it's brought to you by International Autos Group. Just like the game's MVP, you can drive into summer in style and save up to $10,000 on in-stock BMWs, Audis, Mercedes-Benz, and more. No tariffs, just huge savings. Visit iamilwaukee.com. International Autos Group, where ordinary needs to be extraordinary. Easy pick. Andrew Vaughn, he continues to torch the baseball as a Brewer. 2 for 4, home run in the 9th inning, double in the 2nd inning. As a Brewer, just 12 games, he's 12 for 37, a .324 batting average. He's got an OPS over 1,000, a slug over 600, 3 doubles, 3 homers. In fact, so he's got 6 extra base hits. He's got 6 walks and only 5 strikeouts. Plate discipline has been through the roof. Complete opposite of what he was doing with the White Sox. So here's another crazy stat for you. 48 games with the White Sox, 7 walks. 12 games with the Brewers, 6 walks. Change of scenery. And this is more on par what he's doing right now. I'm not saying he's going to always have more walks and strikeouts, but he walked a lot his first 4 years in the show. Like, he had a league average walk rate and sometimes even higher than that. But something happened this year, or change of, leadership, direction, whatever it may be. But good to see Andrew Vaughn swinging the bat as well as he is, and he's already made fast friends in this clubhouse, and it's been a good time to have him. He's an easy pick for our player of the game. A couple of ones that have texted in here as well. Brewers have played some awful, sloppy baseball this series. Agreed, 100%. These series happen throughout 162. Many more games will be like this, so let's get back on track tomorrow. Yelly in a bit of a funk at the plate. Timing's off. Is he not seeing spin well? What have you noticed? Especially that. It's spin. Right now, Yelich is in a weird trend with breaking balls. Not just righties or lefties. He's only hitting .234 on breaking balls this year. But furthermore, he's not hitting them hard either. A 42% whiff rate. The expected numbers don't love what he's done against breaking balls either. Yes, he's got 7 homers against them, but not a lot of loud contact. Just by comparison, in a shorter season, for him because he got hurt, his batting average was 100 points better a season ago against breaking balls than it is this season. And when he was dealing with injury in 23 and 22, yeah, he was hovering around the Mendoza line specifically against breaking balls. So to see him regress after having a really strong year last year against breaking balls is something to monitor for him. But furthermore, timing. It's always going to be timing. It's so fleeting for some. And Yelly's been very aggressive this season. He still gets his walks. He still walks at a slightly higher than average rate. But I think Yelly sometimes gets into swing mode earlier than you expect. I mean, he fell behind 1-2 without taking a swing in the first inning and ultimately struck out on the slider swinging. Then his next at-bat, he tries to ambush and he swings and misses, and then he's behind the 8 ball there and ends up striking out in his second at-bat against Jensen Junk as well, then a couple of groundouts when he was being aggressive again, both of those swings coming in the second pitch of the at-bat. So threading the needle of being aggressive and knowing you have the chance to work a walk, the old cliche is when you're in a slump at the plate, just get on first, meaning draw a walk, be a little more patient, see a few more pitches to come into your way. That's how he got his hitting streak or his on-base streak to 30 games last night by drawing a walk in the 9th inning, down 5-1. But today he was not able to do the same. That's what I see from Yelly. Get the timing back, take a couple more walks, pass the bat, if you will, to get things going in the right direction. Text here from Mark that I'm already going to regret reading, but why did the pitchers go down south of winter already? I mean, come on, man. It's the big leagues. There's big leaguers on every side. It's all good. And speaking of Mears, what's the update with him? Everworth? Hey, come on. He's fine. First and foremost, Mears yesterday, we learned after the game, Nick Mears had a back lockup during his warm-up, and he may be thinking, well, why didn't he just take himself out of the game? Well, then it puts the bullpen in an even worse position. Get somebody hot, put somebody into with a inherited runner situation. That explains the pair of walks he had. He went into the game yesterday with only 5 walks on the season, and then to walk 2 guys in the same game was certainly odd. But let's remind folks, he's got a 2.95 ERA. He's consistently having to put out fires coming in with inherited runners. He's inherited 38 runners. That leads the National League this season. 12 of them have scored, which is better than 30%. If you're better than 30% in inherited runner scoring, you're doing something right. It is so hard to strand inherited runners. And I know some folks are mad about the Cal Raleigh home run the other day. That was a great pitch. I will defend that pitch. You tip your cap. It's like basketball. You can play perfect defense. You could be all over a guy. Then he turns and hit this spinning fade away from the elbow, and he goes swish. Tip your cap, man. There's a reason Big Dumper's got 39 homers. So Mears, they will make sure he is healthy and good to go. I did spot both Craig Yoho in the clubhouse today, and in fact, during the game, Rob Sestrizny arrived when he threw a rehab outing yesterday in Nashville. He is also available to potentially be activated off the injured list at any moment. They can add another lefty into that pen to make sure they have some more depth there. A couple of texts here, too. This one, we have to see a creative win tomorrow, especially going into this Cubs series. And with Woody on the mound, super excited about that. You'll have McGill available. You have Uribe available. And quite frankly, you even have Koenig available. Good to see him get back on the horse and pitch well in the 9th inning today. I still think the Brewers are going to need 6-7 innings out of Woody tomorrow to really make things easier. But the best way to do that, score more runs than the other team. And you got a tall task with Yuri Perez getting the ball for the Marlins as the baby Alcantara, his clone, if you will, coming back from his Tommy John surgery, has been fantastic. Just 22 years old. We're going to have a really young matchup. Coming off of a good one against the Padres, 5 strikeouts and 5 innings of work. But before that, against the Orioles, he went 7 shutout with no walks and 6 Ks. He hasn't really crossed the 90 pitch mark all that much this season, so maybe that could be something that works in the Brewers' favor. Working counts, foul off balls, and be a pest, be annoying, be tough to pitch against. That's what we're looking ahead to for tomorrow. Brewers try to get back on track with the finale. We'll hear from the manager, Pat Murphy, on the other side of this break on your home of the Brewers, 620 WTMJ.
Coming up, more Brewers Extra Innings on WTMJ.
Hi, this is Rejuvenex founder Richard Salinas. And I'm a consumer just like you. And my ears perk up for pain relief messages just like you. But some of these ads...
Since I started taking this natural supplement, within weeks, my pain is completely gone.
I mean, come on. Give me a break. The truth is, there are imbalances in your body causing your pain. And there's physical therapy, which we are highly skilled at, that can improve imbalances. And there are alternative pain solutions. But not all of them are proven, safe, effective, or affordable. At Rejuvenex, the effectiveness of Toradol joined with hyaluronic acid has been proven. Our treatments are affordable, FDA approved, safe, and they're powerful medicines. They calm inflammation and cushion joints, and they can make your pain go away.
Rejuvenex. Alleviate your pain. Rejuvenate your life.
Go to rejuvenex.com to request your free pain evaluation.
Hey, Monica. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Rick. Hey, Joe. To what do we owe the honor?
Don't you have CEO type things you need to be doing?
Or Joe might be here because he's been doing some CEO type things that he thinks we should know about.
Bingo! You guessed it, Monica.
What do you need us to do, Joe?
Well, I'm here because I want to present an idea to you. Cool. What is it? I've been talking with finance companies and was able to make a deal for 18-month financing at 0% interest with a $750 or more purchase.
And your idea was to offer 18-month 0% financing to all of our customers?
It's subject to credit approval, but yeah, that's what I was thinking.
How long will we be able to do it?
From July 1st to July 31st. 0% will let people buy diamonds that were on their bucket list.
I know what I'm buying.
I'm going on a shopping spree. I'm going to have more jewelry than the Queen of England.
So you like the idea?
We don't like it. We love it.
For the location of the Kesslers nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
This is Brewers Extra Innings.
All right, Brewers fall today 7-4. We'll hear from the manager in just a moment. Brewers Extra Innings, buying or selling, brought to you by Tony Wendorf and Associates. If you're looking to buy or sell a home, trust Tony Wendorf and Associates, one of the top real estate teams in Wisconsin and part of First Weber Real Estate Services. They bring faith, family, and red carpet experience to every home deal. Let's step up to the plate together. WendorfTeam.firstweber.com. For the Brewers, what are we buying right now is you got to buy the fact that the Brewers have the opportunity to reclaim their stride when it comes to their defense, when it comes to their stolen bases. These are improvable things for the crew. You know, an error today from Terrain comes back to bite them, 2 caught stealings today. That's got to be something you get back on track with to understand that, hey, that's not the Brewers' identity. We've talked about this over and over and over again. When the Brewers commit an error, their record is so drastically different compared to when they play a clean game, quite frankly, like they expect to, like they are supposed to do. So when you pull up the numbers, when you pull up the great game notes from Mike Vassallo of the PR staff, when the Brewers do not commit an error, they're 42-21, 21 games above 500. When the Brewers do commit an error, and they committed a couple yesterday and committed another one today, they are 3 games under 500 at 19-22. It's a pretty simple formula. So we're buying the fact that that can be fixed, and they have the personnel to do so. What are we selling? We're selling that this division race is going to be decided in one series or in July or in August or whatever the trade deadline happens for both of these teams. Both of these teams, the Cubs and the Brewers, have needs. Both of them are going to be active in the markets. And yet, the game's played on the field. The Cubs are going to be looking for starting pitching help. Yes, they are in on Eugenio Suarez, but they're kind of in the same conundrum that the Brewers are in, and that their young rookie third baseman, Matt Shaw, has been playing a lot better as of late. In fact, he hit a home run tonight down on the south side. So very similar to what Caleb Durbin has been doing here in Milwaukee. Durbin, 2 more hits today for him, including the run batted in the first run of the game for the Crew. He's up to a .265 batting average. You know, one of the mind-blowing stats I found while doing some research for a pregame today, during Christian Yelich's 30-game on-base streak, this goes back to June 15th, he didn't even lead the team in on-base percentage. That honor went to both Caleb Durbin and Isaac Collins. Both of them had an over 400 on-base percentage since June 15th. Yelly came into today at .375. So that's another thing that we're buying, belief in the rookies, but you're selling maybe a prospect or two to go get maybe Gino, maybe O'Hearn. They need offense. We know that. And maybe a reliever. You know, I've liked the thought of Pete Fairbanks. I've liked the thought of Dennis Santana. David Bednar got his 100th career save tonight. Would you be able to get Bednar out of the closer role from Pittsburgh with an extra year of control within division? I don't know if the Pirates would do that, but there are more relievers out there on the market than you realize. So the Brewers are going to have to be savvy, especially if Nick Mears is going to be down for a little bit. We'll find out more, hopefully, tomorrow. All that being said, let's hear from the manager, Pat Murphy, after today's defeat.
Murph, how much of the first two games in this series do you feel like has been kind of like self-inflicted wounds versus that's a pretty good team over there that I think maybe people are underestimating a little bit?
I'm not sure if people understand it or not. It's not my job to worry what they understand or not, but that's a really good team, and they're playing really good. Now, are they ready to win it? With this stretch right here, they're playing as good as anybody, and it's tougher for us to play this game than it is to get up for a team that has all the stars that you recognize, and so we play a little different role. We're not the underdog, and we play a little different role, and it sometimes gets tougher. It's in our heads, but that's how it is, and I'm just appreciative all those fans came out. I'm sorry we didn't win, but some of them understand, some of them get it. They get it, and just keep supporting the Brewers. We're doing some special things. We've got a special group of guys. They can't win every night, as other teams are proving around the league. You can't win every night, but it was self-inflicted a lot. We didn't pitch great. We didn't play great defense. We didn't pitch great, and we didn't base run great. Those are three things that, I thought we, credit their pitchers, but I thought we swung the bat at times really, really well. And we didn't do enough of the other things.
How do you assess Quintana tonight?
Yeah, I don't think he was great. He was behind in the count a lot. The changeup wasn't a factor like it normally is. And I think, 5-5. But again, this team's playing great, and they're getting clutch hits, and he could have been out of that mess too, but I like the guy in the mound every time, so I never want to. He's entitled to not pitching great, and I don't think he was great tonight.
Did the status and the availability of the bullpen, did that have any impact on sending him back to go that third time through?
Yeah. It gets a little sensitive when you're, going to play 6 in a row. You got to be mindful of it, and he's mature enough to go back out there and do that. He's got his pitches left. What did he have coming into the inning?
71 through 4.
Yeah, 71 through 4 is not bad. But I'm certainly not going to pull him very many times like that. You know what I mean? And he would have been out of that inning when we don't make an error. So there was no consideration there to take him out.
Or with no move with Mears, what's kind of his status? Is he going to be down for a couple days?
Yeah, we don't know. Again, we don't know. He felt much better today, so we've got a guy here on the taxi squad, and we're going to see how he feels tomorrow, and if we can get him up throwing tomorrow a little bit, maybe he doesn't need a bigger blow than that. D.L. Hall threw the ball really well. We got Koenig back out there. He hadn't been out there in a time, and a lot of guys swung the bat decent today, and we didn't do it at the times that would have scored runs. So
another good night for Vaughn.
Yeah. He continues to impress us with his plate discipline, and thought he was very good.
All that from Pat Murphy, agreeing with a lot of people tonight. So, yes, he understands. Quintana wasn't sharp. Defense hasn't been super great. Base running hasn't been super great. All that is the thing. Put it in the toilet, flush it, see it. You can stew about it until midnight. That's all you're allowed to do. You're allowed to stew and get, gosh, I can't believe you did it in the last 2 games against the Marlins, home run derby, there's so lot of crowds. All right, cool. Midnight, you're not allowed to complain about it anymore. Forget it. Move on. Get ready for Brandon Woodruff. Before we take a break, let's take a quick spin around the league with the out-of-town scoreboard here. Most everybody is final aside from a couple West Coast games. Giants hosting the Mets. That's big for Giants wild card hopes. The Giants are down. It's 2-1 Mets right now in that one. RBIs belong, both of them, to Mark Vientos for the Mets. 2-1 as Dustin Peterson went really, really good for David Peterson, I beg your pardon, went 6 strong against the Gigantes, and Robbie Ray did not get out of the 6th inning. Also in action right now at the Big A, it's 3-2 Mariners leading the Angels, and Julio Rodriguez has hit a homer in 3 consecutive games. So the Brewers get out of town, and then he gets hot. So good timing for the Brewers to escape Seattle. Games that went final. Big news in New York earlier today. Aaron Judge is going to the injured list. He has got a strained flexor tendon in his throwing arm. So TBD on how long he could be out. And by the way, the Yankees lost 9-4 to the Phillies. When you look at the American League wild card race, because the Blue Jays continue to win, the Blue Jays have the best record in baseball. They win 6-1 over the Tigers, coming back to defeat Tarek Skubal and Detroit. They're 63-42. Skubal went 6 shutout, and then they beat up the Tigers bullpen. But the Yankees are now only 1 game clear. They're in the top wild card spot. They're really losing ground fast on these Toronto Blue Jays. They're currently 6 back in the loss column. They're only 1 up on Seattle. They could be a half game up on Seattle by the end of the night. Boston won again tonight. They beat the Dodgers 4-2, so they're now tied head-to-head in those last 2 wild card spots. And don't lose sight of the Rangers. They won again today, 5 consecutive. The Brewers will see the Rangers in September. The Rangers win on a walk-off from Marcus Semien to get that one in their favor. The Rangers beat the Braves in 10 innings. So the American League is getting pretty testy. How about the National League wild card? Again, we mentioned the Mets. They're currently in that spot, that top, or the second wild card spot, I should say. Only a game back of whoever's in second between the Brewers and Cubs. Then Philly, who won again today. They also have the identical 16-44 record of those Mets. So that's all a jumbled mess at the top of the wild card. San Diego defeated St. Louis today with some benches clearing moments. Manny Machado, Wilson Contreras, the usual characters being in the middle of all of it. No surprise there. No need to linger on that one. Cincinnati, they win again today. They're a game back of a playoff spot right now. Then San Francisco's teetering. St. Louis, they're just kind of lurking. They're just kind of hanging out. They're not actually got any bad intentions, I don't think. And Arizona continues its fire sale. First, it was Josh Naylor on Thursday. Today, it was Randall Grichuk. So Naylor goes to the Mariners, Grichuk goes to the Royals, and today Merrill Kelly got a tough luck loss, giving up 2 runs when the Diamondbacks were shut out. And that could have been Merrill Kelly's final start for his hometown team, a former Arizona State recruit and player for Pat Murphy's Sun Devils. Merrill Kelly has had one heck of a career with the Diamondbacks, and he could be traded coming up this week as they fall 2-0. So that's a quick peek at the out-of-town scoreboard. I'll give you a couple more key scores and what to look out for in tomorrow's finale against these Marlins. Stay with us right here on your home of the Brewers, 620 WTMJ.
On deck, more Brewers Extra Innings.
Trust in your family's comfort at home with Cider Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical. They're the oldest family-owned HVAC company in southeast Wisconsin. 4 generations of Ciders, and their highly trained technicians provide a one-stop shop for all home and business comfort needs, including an emergency service line that's always live and a 12-year parts and labor warranty on all Daikin products. Get peace of mind by scheduling maintenance today with Cider Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical. That's SEIDER, cider.com.
Modernizing business technology is critical for a positive impact on efficiency and reducing operating costs. That's exactly what Tri-City National Bank found out when they called on James Imaging Systems. Listen to Bank CIO Robert Prang.
We also went through a large retooling of our print environment, changing from where we had almost 200 printers.
All the way down to just 97 printers. That's managed print services from James Imaging Systems, a 100% locally owned and managed Wisconsin business technology company.
So being able to work with a local company like James that has that flexibility with their staff and being able to deliver for us has given us the ability to make the right decisions for our organization.
Robert, would you recommend managed print services from James Imaging Systems?
Yes, in a heartbeat, I would recommend James.
Learn more at jamesimaging.com. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. They're the best in the business. They are CertaPro painters. Now's the time to get on their schedule. Their summer sales discount goes through the end of July. Do it now. They painted our house, the outside, absolutely fantastic. They're kind, they're thoughtful. They moved our patio furniture out of the way and moved it right back where it belonged. It is CertaPro painters. Schedule your free estimate at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. For your home or business, they're the best. Each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned and operated.
Welcome back to Brewers Extra Innings.
Brewers Extra Innings brought to you in part by Surfside, proud partner of the Milwaukee Brewers. Surfside iced tea and vodka, Surfside lemonade and vodka, paired perfectly with the day at the ballpark and stocked at American Family Field all season long. You know, I buried the lead on that Mariners-Angels score. You know why the Mariners lead 3-2? Because Big Dumper hit his 40th. Cal Raleigh's got 40 homers, and it's July 26th. My goodness. And he's a catcher, and he's a switch hitter. Yeesh. What a season for Cal Raleigh. And now, hey, with Aaron Judge going on the IL, the American League MVP race is open. And Cal Raleigh might suddenly have a real opportunity to be the guy to take it away from Aaron Judge. So you can ask how Brewers fans feel about injury, robbing some stat ability at the end of a season, you know, when you have a chance to win a back-to-back MVP. I digress. Anyway. All right. Cubs won tonight 6-1. So, again, this division is tied. Both teams to the same record. They will meet again Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, coming up this week after tomorrow's finale against these Marlins. We'll talk more about the matchups of what to expect. But we did get the rotation for the Crew today against the Cubs. Jacob Mizorowski will go on Monday. Then Quinn Priester will go on Tuesday. Freddie Peralta will go Wednesday. Miz, Quinn, Freddie. Those are your three against the Cubs Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We will have post-game shows after both Monday and Tuesday. I will be on Monday. It'll be Bob Brainerd on Tuesday. And then no show Wednesday because it's a day game. But then we will have reaction to the trade deadline on Thursday night on Brewers Weekly. That airs at 8 o'clock Central Time. The trade deadline is 5 o'clock Central Time. So we will know the dust will have settled. Maybe the Brewers will have jumped the gun and have already made a couple more moves because the two trades they've already made this season, yeah, they're paying off so far, Quinn Priester and Andrew Vaughn to this point in the year. One last check at your out-of-town scoreboard from some other things that we're keeping an eye on. A split in a doubleheader in Kansas City. The Royals walked it off with a 3-run homer off Emmanuel Clase in Game 1. That was by Jonathan India. They won 5-3. And then the Guardians got to snatch him back. They're back to 500, 6-4 over the Royals. I don't think we appreciate Jose Ramirez. I still don't. He's hitting .298. He's got an OPS over 900 again. He's playing everyday third base again. He has got 20 doubles, 21 homers, 31 stolen bases. He's still got a chance to be 40-40. It's going to be really need some power search here, but he certainly has a chance to be 30-30 by the end of the season. He is undoubtedly on a Hall of Fame track. He's got an opportunity by the end of his career to have 500 doubles, maybe 350 homers, and let's go and call it 350 stolen bases. It's a pretty rare company, all while playing some really, really good third base. So the Guardians continue to be pesky. Also today, the Orioles, 18-0 over the Rocks. In fact, 2-hit the Rocks today. Trevor Rogers, how about that? Trevor Rogers was traded by these Marlins to the Orioles for Kyle Stowers. Oof. You know what? The Marlins could use a lefty. They're only 5 games out of a playoff spot right now. I'm kidding. But this was a tough one for Antonio Senzatella. He gave up 6 runs today, including 2 home runs. Then finally, also the A's. They've won 2 games over the Astros. See, it can happen to anybody. The A's, they take 2 out of the first 2 out of 3 against these Astros finale tomorrow. Lawrence Butler hit a homer. Shea Langoliers back in Texas hit a home run as well. Starting pitcher in that one was Hunter Brown for the Astros. He didn't pitch poorly. Some unearned runs against Hector Neris late in this contest as the A's, they continue to be a thorn in some team sides. The Brewers took a series from them. All right, we are on the air tomorrow. Brewers warm-up will be at noon. First pitch is scheduled for 1:10. I've got a couple guests planned. It's going to be a Hall of Fame-themed pregame show, given the induction speeches are going to be happening while we're on the air. But then we will hopefully be able to share some of the snippets if there's any Milwaukee mention for Dave Parker's family and for, of course, CeCe Sabathia with that epic 2008. So Hall of Fame Day coming tomorrow. Should be a fun day for baseball. And, of course, for Tom Hamilton accepting his Ford C. Frick Award today in Cooperstown. Our producer has been Evan Witalison. We'll talk to you tomorrow at noon, Brewers and Marlins, for the finale of this series. Until then, I'm Dom Cotroneo. Keep on swinging.
Elevate your escape during the summer of Audi at Audi North Shore and Audi Milwaukee.